Hello guys, my name is Ben Sinclair and today we're going to be making some dauphinoise potatoes. Very simple recipe and it doesn't take too long to do. All you need is a little bit of time in the kitchen just to assemble everything together. Right, first of all, what we've got there, we've got two types of potatoes. Doesn't really matter, we only sort of need one type. If you've got two types, then great, use them up. That's what I'm doing just after Christmas. And we need some garlic here. We've got some bayleaves and we've got some rosemary. If you've got time, add that in the pan as well. What we're doing here, we're actually infusing the cream to go into the dauphinoise. And what I find this does is it adds in so much more of a deeper level of flavour with your dauphinoise. Everyone who eats it are going to be really, really impressed. I always do this. Make sure we season it up. Nice bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, not too much because we are reducing it down and the flavour does intensify. Right guys, now to start off, what we're going to start doing, we're going to just start peeling our potatoes, removing any sort of black bits, any sort of discolorizations in the potatoes. You want to just get them all nice and clean, really nice and peeled up. And next, what we're going to need to do, I actually own a mandolin, so this makes this next task much more easier. If you don't own a mandolin, you're going to have to slice them very, very thinly. Bear in mind, I'm watching my fingers very, very carefully for this part. I had to throw a little slow-mo clip in there just to spicing things up a little bit. So when we are slicing a potato, guys, we want them really nice and thin, and I'm constantly checking them to make sure. With the mandolin, sometimes it can drop out of place, so you do need to keep watching it and stuff. So what we're going to do, we're simply going to just power through all the rest, slicing the potatoes, have sped it up. I don't actually move that fast. Yeah, making sure all nice and thin. And some people will actually put them in water while they're doing the dauphinoise. That's completely wrong. We don't want that because in between the potatoes, all that white stuff you can see on my mandolin is actually the starch, and this is what holds the dauphinoise together. So make sure you don't put. Right guys, now the cream is come off the stove and after our potatoes are nicely being sliced, I'll give the cream a little taste. If it needs a bit more seasoning, perfect. Season it up now because it's the only time you're going to have. And that's why we did put loads of rosemary, bay leaves and garlic in there, just so we can really punch that flavour in there. So it really helps give the dauphinoise a really nice deep body of flavour. Right guys, now it is the most important part of this. You actually can't see what I've done, but I did put a little bit of olive oil just in the bottom of the tray, just to help it give it a little bit of an oily base, just to start. And this part here is the most important, the layering. People think you might be crazy by doing it layer by layer, but if you want to get a perfect dauphinoise, this is what you got to do, you guys. So the top layer is the most important because when we flip it over, that's the presentation side. So what I'm actually doing is I'm just layering them over. It doesn't matter how you layer them over, but you just want to do layer by layer. And every second layer, what we're going to do, we're going to add a little bit of cream, a little bit of Parmesan. If you've got pecorino, use pecorino cheese. And we're going to use a little bit of cream, and we're going to have a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper in it. That's every 2 layers, guys. And I know it might sound crazy, but for perfection, this is what you've got to do. And you'll be thanking me after. So as you can see, guys, I've sped it up a little bit because otherwise we'll be here all day. It probably took me about 10 minutes, probably max, to build it. But so what you want to do, the cooking temperature wise of this, you probably want to go about 180, and you want to go for 1 hour. Well, you're going to see me put the parchment paper on it soon. 1 hour with the paper on, probably about 45 minutes without the paper on, about 180. And what you're going to find with this, it might sound quite long, but it comes out perfect, and you get really nice crispy sides. You can see all the layers, and it goes really nice and golden and all that. So this is what you want to do for that. So now, as you can see, I'm in the final stages of building the dauphinoise. So same again as the bottom, the second layer like the top. We've got Parmesan, we've got salt and pepper, and a little bit of more cream. And what you actually want, you're actually going to want 2 dishes the exact same size, and you're going to see why in a second. So once again, we go cream. And we're going to go butter all around the side. So when it melts, it's going to drizzle down. It's going to get all them edges all nice and crispy. Everyone's favourite part. And that's what we want. So again, use up all the cream. Then parchment paper on. And what you do, when you want to push down the parchment paper, you should actually want to see a little bit of cream coming up the sides. And that's just going to help it cook properly. So as you can see there, I put the chafing dish on and press it down and straight in the oven. So this was it after an hour. Then I've taken off the parchment paper and then re-roast it again. But if you can see there, the colours of the side, it's all nice and crispy. I could have went a little bit longer, to be honest with you, maybe another half hour, but my mum was dying to hurry up and eat this, so I had to get it on the plate for her ASAP. But yeah, so anyway, guys, this is the recipe for the dauphinoise. If you do like the video, please like and share and subscribe as well. And I'm going to have another video coming in very soon. Let me know what you think of the recipe in the comment, guys, as well. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.